Hello, welcome. I'm MJ. This is All Things Crunchy. This is also Mama Tribe After Dark. And I'm hanging out with Mama Cara Cadwallader. Let me bring her up here. Hey, Mama.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's late where you are.
You're welcome. Yep, it's about 11 p.m. on the East Coast here in New York.
Yeah, East Coast. Are you chilly or is it all right? Not bad?
It's cozy here in the house. I'm on an 11-acre farm, and it's a nice little country house that has a wood-burning stove in the basement. So that's what's heating the house.
Oh,
but
gosh.
Not, it's been unseasonably warm this season. It's cold for us, Southern Californians, but for my friends who live here, it's
yeah, nice, awesome. I'm glad it's not too cold, but that sounds really amazing. So, well, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining us. We've done so many hangouts now. And I just appreciate your time and your knowledge and your friendship very much. So, you've got a baby boy that's wanting your attention. So let's get right into this. And like I said, you've been on previous Hangouts with me, which I actually have showcased here in the Hangout tonight. So if you're watching us live, or if you're watching us on Google later, you'll be able to see it on the right-hand side. Cara Cadwallader's baby over here is the First 40. So check her out at thefirst40.com. And actually, let me bring up here my little lower third for her, because she's out in the country. The internet, thankfully, actually, that's probably a nice thing to not have the internet working like crazy, and just getting away from that a little bit. So I bet that's nice. But yes, so we've got her website there, and then also below that, the 2 Hangouts that she has been on with us to talk about postpartum care on Live with Mama Tribe. So if you haven't checked those out, check them out, because we have a lot of fun hanging out together. So so it just flows. If you have any questions or comments while we're doing the Hangout tonight, feel free to, if you're on Google, type in a question or a comment, and it should show up, and I will try to check out the Q&A in the Hangout. Otherwise, if you're watching us on YouTube, just leave a question or a comment below the video, and I will get that on my phone. So let's talk about postpartum care. It's just like it's up there with self-care for me. Like it's such an important thing that is not yet like mainstream, not yet really well known, that there actually is a 4th trimester besides the 3rd trimester, besides all the other trimesters. So you know a lot about this. You deal with this in your work, the love that you have with helping moms postpartum. So let me have you talk just a little bit about what it is. And you have such a great little excerpt on your website about how, the newborn is just like, the mom is taking care of the newborn, and the mom get to bond. I mean, this is ideal of what it should be. But just tell us what the first 40 days are.
Sure. Well, they're the most precious and sacred time in a human life. It's the first 40 days of life for any human being. and the first 40 days that a woman gets to bond with her newborn. So indigenously speaking, since we've been human, we've had cultural practices that really supported mom so that she could just rest and recover from the experience of childbirth. And that also allowed for the newborn's sensitivities to be respected. Obviously, they're in a heightened state of awareness. So we want to just really, ideally, we want to recreate the sensations and the feelings of what it was like being in the womb for those first 10 months. And so I love that you mentioned the fourth trimester, because you're right, a lot of us who go through this experience of childbirth, it's not something that's in our cultural vernacular to know about this fourth trimester. And what I have learned is, as we as a species evolved and our brains got bigger, thus also did our heads have to grow. And so we were, as animals, we began to be ejected sooner from our mother's womb. So therefore, we are born 3 months premature, really, for those of us who are born, even if you're a full-term baby, full 40 weeks. Still, developmentally, really, you're still desiring to be in that womb-like state. So ideally, the first days, which is about 6 weeks, and that's just the beginning of that fourth trimester. But we're doing the best we can to maintain that rocking, shushing, that peaceful, womb-like, watery, fluid state that we've known up until ejection time.
Yeah. And I think, just hearing you talk about that, it's just seems so, that's, of course, that's what we should do, because these are little beings, and then people always say how resilient kids are. Well, yes, they're in a sense, but not when especially not when they're first born. We don't want to just totally take them from this environment that they were in, that they were used to, and just throw them into something totally different. So, yay, I love that explanation.
And if I can, go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so then also my business is called The First 40 Days. And that specific language is coming from a yogic background and perspective. And so 40 or 42 days is the amount of time that it's thought to set a pattern physiologically in our human bodies. So mandalas are an example of that pattern. That's why you see mandala in my business logo. So the first 40 days, the adage that goes with it is like the first 40 days for the first 40 years. So we're setting a pattern within ourselves as new mothers, and then within our newborns, that's going to set us up for the next 40 years of our life.
Yeah.
So the question is, what kind of pattern am I establishing? Is it one of self-care, asking for help, eating nourishing, nurturing food? Or is it one of, like you were just mentioning, MJ, of like overstimulation, undernourishing food, a bombardment of the senses?
Yeah, we're like little, even though we're being a baby, we are just starting to grow. So it's like roots of a tree. Like, how are the roots going to grow? Are they going to grow strong? Are they going to grow, just healthy? Are they going to grow like courageous? Are they going to be wilted? Are they going to, I mean, it's awesome to think of it that way. And I know now that that OG's on the Hangout, she's like, oh God, here goes MJ. But I really believe in that, just like I believe too in how our babies really are aware in the womb. Things do affect them the way they're birthed, affects them, in all these different ways. So I think that it's
Highly.
really important. What's that?
Yeah, yeah, very important. Babies, newborns, infants, even when we're in the womb, our consciousness is extremely intelligent, and we are still, we're picking up on the vibrations of energy, the movement of energy, and so it's with that awareness that we want to have our sacred pregnancy and then bring our children into that world. So really that's the question. And I see that you have out there, who benefits from postpartum care? Well, yes, definitely us as women, us as mothers. We're going to benefit the most, ideally, by knowing what our needs are prior to postpartum period, which that's part of what I do with my business, is help moms to identify their postpartum needs. And two of those big needs are, again, the self-care and the asking for help. The asking for help is huge. Then the newborns are going to benefit, right? So they're going to be given this sacred window of time with which to come into their bodies and senses and being in a respectful, honoring, nurturing, gentle is the key word, gentle.
Oh my God, I love that you say respectful, and I love that. It's just so, I mean, because I don't think people get it, that like our kids need that. How are they going to give it? And even as a newborn, I'm sorry, but like maybe I'm just way out there, but it's like they need that respect, the everything. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then if we put humans together, it's the whole world who benefits. I mean, we're giving birth to the next generation, and we're creating a new world, and we do that with these patterns that we're either reestablishing or evolving and transforming. So,
I was looking through your website because of the show coming up, but also you were excited about the red tent kind of experience you got to create for that mama. And so I went and I looked at the pictures, and this wasn't for me, this was for her, but when I looked at like the nursing station and the all the pictures that you took of the red tent experience that you set up for her, like it gave me a feeling of like, oh my God, I wanted to have a baby and nurse him and be able to look at all these pictures and everything like that. For me to feel that way about it and not even be the person that it was made for, I mean, like everybody benefits. If the mom gets that feeling, the newborn benefits, the mom benefits, the husband benefits, and like you're saying, the world does. Yeah. We're way too out there for you, huh, Erin? Come on now. I know it. I hear it. Oh no, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. You better go out and come back in. No, I can't have you not talk. Oh my God, she would freak out if she couldn't talk. But anyway, okay, well, we'll have to get back to that because I'm sure she'll interject on that. But
I will just say,
go ahead.
The sacred cocoon, is having a space that inspires sacredness.
Testing.
There she is.
Sorry.
We got you.
We got sound.
So, okay. I don't want to lose that. Go back to it. The sacredness. Tell me.
Being in an environment, in the case of the mom you're referring to, she was very privileged to have an extra room that she could create a sacred cocoon in, but you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your living room, in your bedroom that you share with your partner. And for me, having an environment that's aesthetically beautiful, really that's peaceful, that feels tranquil, whether it has, like a little water running, or in the case of the mama that you were referring to, there was a large crystal, a piece of selenite in the room. There was, in her nursing station, there was a Himalayan salt lamp that lit up the space, and the Himalayan salt lamps are thought to be produce the negative ions, which happens when there's like storms and rain clouds. So that's beneficial to it. It basically equalizes the environment, neutralizes it. And then there was a large tonka, which is a wall hanging, a drapery or fabric that was made in Tibet, and it has green Tara, who's a Tibetan Buddhist deity, goddess on it. So just beautiful objects that kind of ground us, and inspire us to breathe, to be present, to reflect. She really wanted images of mother and child from around the world to remind her that this is an experience that women across the globe have been through for eons. Yeah, just, gifting ourselves, like really gifting ourselves a proper baby moon. I think that there's this misleading idea that a baby moon happens when we're pregnant and we go, on a trip with ourselves. Like, that's wonderful.
That's what I thought it was. I went on a baby moon.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Really,
You just got to put the spin on it, sister, because had someone told me that the baby moon was more than just that weekend getaway, I think it would have been fabulous.
Yeah, I was never told that it was a baby moon after I had my son. I was just told to lay in bed and nurse, get up, go to the bathroom, but mostly just lay in bed and nurse and skin to skin. And I was like, that sounds great. But yeah, I think we didn't really take a trip, but we did something where we like, oh, we're never going to be able to do this again once we have our child, so we better do this. I don't even know what it was now. But yeah, that is definitely something that I don't think a lot of mamas and parents, know about, is a baby moon, and it is just delightful and amazing, and just awesome to be able to just know that this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just lay here, nurse, sleep when you can, eat good foods. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very needed. So the red. Go ahead, Mama. Sorry.
You go ahead, because I think what you're going to ask leads into probably what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Yeah, just that, we had been talking about your the red tent experience. So we're talking about how can we meet the postpartum needs of the mama. And you've been on live with Mama Tribe before and talked to us about, food and community and tribe is really these are the main things. There's many other things, of course, but so besides this red tent experience and this red tent / baby moon, let's just talk a little bit about how we can meet the needs, and like, where are we doing this? Are we doing this? I think that people. It's kind of a culture American thing for the mom to get up and start doing stuff after they have the babies, so it's like, where is this happening? This is happening, hopefully in the bedroom, not anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, there's being able to identify our needs, right? So, like, what the heck are my needs going to be postpartum? I just had my son a year ago, and I didn't know. And like you said, there's not a whole lot of literature or resources out there regarding this fourth trimester.
Yeah.
So that's why I created the first 40, was to help new moms to identify their needs, because now I had some experience, and it's like I can bring that to the table, and I certainly know what I would have liked to have. So in identifying our needs, you know, the meal delivery, chores, and the chores, your trash doubles, your laundry triples, right? And again, gift yourself a proper baby moon of self-care for the first 6 weeks. For 6 weeks, ask your family and friends, your loved ones, hey, can you come? I'm gonna ask you for some help, and can you come and tend to chores, walk the dogs, babysit my 2-year-old, my 4-year-old.
This is your business. This is what you do. So you guys have to check out thefirst40.com, because Cara, you have this all planned out, like what the plan is. And I think it's even really good for moms to look at, look, you should be getting help for this. You should be getting people to do this, you know, to validate this. Oh crap, after I have the baby, I have to blah, blah, blah. No, you don't have to. So,
you know, I think you said something about the American culture.
Yeah.
And how, you know, we're pioneers. You had to just pick up and take care of your kid and take care of the house, and, you know, because shit had to get done on the ranch or on the homestead.
Right.
You didn't have the luxury of living within a stone's throw of 3 generations.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's nowadays for us. It's almost like you're the concierge of postpartum. You know, you want to help moms prep for that time.
Yeah.
When we have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. And it's these are the type of things that, you know, when you go to do your baby registry, oh my gosh, my baby registry would have been so different having known. There's so many things that never got used, that the money could have gone towards to other things. And, you know, I was hugely into baby wearing, and when I would think of my the playpen thing, I don't even know what the hell it's called anymore, because I never used it. What is it?
Pack and play.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. The pack and play. The pack and play. That thing got pulled out of the box and put into the corner, and I was just man, the things that I could have
used that
spent
money for.
And now, you know, it's really important in my mind to support moms postpartum, and because of the support that I got, you know, the minimal that I did, because I think I was way too prideful. That was one of the things too. I really did think that I shouldn't need anybody, didn't need anybody. I could do this, you know. And deep down inside, I was crying. So, oh, look at that boy.
There's a baby.
See,
you need to stop talking so the screen will be on him.
There you go. Let's keep moving on so you can get back to your boy soon.
Can I just say something?
Yeah. Your website too. You know, how everything's set up and all the things that we need. And
I think there were a few things there. Oh, so how can we meet our needs? So I would say the number thing is to delegate on, ideally a best friend and not our partner spouse, to play a role as your advocate / intermediary. So it's somebody who you can call up and oh, my breasts are hurting and I don't know what to do, and they can, you know, look up the resources for you, or contact somebody at La Leche League, or find, you know, some of your lactation specialists that are on your list. That's a really key component of a successful postpartum period, is to have someone. And again, try not to make your partner or your spouse. If you really have to, then you really have to. And I love what OG said about, you know, being pioneers. And And we're at this era where we've recognized that, like, you know, that superwoman has been unsustainable. And really, what is the most sustainable model that is going to last, that will work to our benefit over the next 40 years of either being a parent or being a child who will become a parent, is this learning to ask for help.
Yeah.
And it's your postpartum period. People
I've got
want help.
Listen, I am sitting here wondering, why is it that for our weddings there is this big, huge hoopla about who your maid of honor is and who your best man is? And there are magazine articles written, books printed, fucking posters, you name it, about that, with that checklist of everything you need at your wedding. But why not have the same for your birth? Because you need your maid of honor. Your maid of honor needs to be that girl, that mama that you call and you're like, you know what, I got an itch that I just can't. I need your help. Whatever. You know? Yeah. So that's what I think we need to do, is hype that up, really bring that position in. And yeah, man.
It's total great advice. I mean, that would be the person that I would call on, would be my husband. But, you know, there's just certain things that, like, a woman needs to kind of handle with another woman.
Exactly.
I always learn so much from you, Cara.
Yeah. And there was one other piece I wanted to share, which was, oh yeah, okay, so this is another really key elemental part, which is, like, don't spend money or have people buy you stuff. Like, swap your stuff and save for services, because it's the services that you're really going to want, whether it's house cleaning. Freaking get yourself a massage. You deserve a massage at the very least after going through the most intense experience of your entire life. Yeah. If you save money and don't spend it on the stuff that is already very easy in circulation, and there's no need for you to buy baby clothes, to buy baby toys, buy baby furniture. There's no need, because this stuff, we move through it like that. And if you don't have any friends, well, it's really easy to get on Craigslist, to create a meetup group, to create what you need.
Buy Nothing. Have you heard of those? Buy Nothing?
No, I don't know Buy Nothing.
Buy Nothing Facebook group. Oh my God, you need to be. Everybody gets an area of wherever you're at. So I'm, you know, whatever a part of San Diego that I'm in, and I can only be in that Buy Nothing group. But all it is people just recycling, reusing their stuff.
You put stuff up. Oh, I have this, or oh, I'm in search of that. Mm-hmm. And it's all, you know, it's Buy Nothing. It's all trade and what you got. It's good. Check it out on Facebook.
I'll hook you up, Mama.
Save for services. I can't say it enough. Save for services, because that's what you're going to want. And that's what you're going to not only just want, but you need.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if it just froze or if you're all done. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. Transitioning here. I don't want to lose the focus, though, that too, your website really is amazing, the way that it kind of plans it all out, and you have it in little sections where, you know, you can get this much, or you can get a little bit more, or you can have it tailored, or, you know, so it's great. And it's great to just really have moms, you know, take a look at and see that, like, you know, this is important. This needs to be budgeted in. So, you know, that's... What's that?
Making the website for the new year. I'm revamping the website. So it'll have a whole new look and feel in the new year. And
cool.
And actually going to be doing kind of shifting the model of the business. The red tent will still be available, but otherwise I'm going to teach through an online course how to set yourself up for post-partum success.
Ooh, awesome. Yeah, well, let us know, because we will promote the heck out of you.
Yeah.
So we kind of have talked about this, why do we care for our moms postpartum? Like what we talked about, who benefits from it. And I love that you are saying, that the world does, because it's true. If really the first 40 days does set us up for the first 40 years, we are setting up a society in a very small amount of time. And of course, over time, I'm sure things can factor in and change. But, the why is because it benefits really all of us, I think. And I think if we also have grace and show that we are caring for somebody by helping them postpartum, or, being that person to reach out, then we're also kind of extending a lot of things that way, by showing other people to that people can give, and then also being able to receive, which it's a really hard thing for some people, I think.
Yeah, especially if they're very particular, because being able, first of all, asking for help is a very humbling thing to do. And then actually relinquishing the power or the control to have something done, that's huge also, so you really have to know what things you're okay with having someone else do, because it could actually cause more anxiety, I think.
Yeah, control is a big one. I have known a few mama friends that just kind of complain that they got to do everything, but they don't want to give up that control. So
no one else does it quite the same way or quite right.
Yeah, something like that.
That's where surrender comes in. Again, we're really wanting to identify what it means to be sustainable. The idea of sustainability is more than just the food we eat and how we live with and on the earth, but it's within ourselves. How are we sustainable with our own energy, in our asking and in our receiving? And so I really feel, and why I'm so jazzed and juiced up to offer online courses around setting ourselves up for postpartum success, is because I lost my flow of thought, but
the online course
that you're excited about these courses.
Yeah, something you just said directly, OG. Oh, right, the surrender. Okay, so really what we're talking about here is we're talking about life skills that can be applied to every component of our life. Business, our emotional, our personal relationships. So can we have a vision of what we want to create, right? Let's see the whole big picture. I want the whole shebang for my postpartum period. And then are we able to organize it, to really see each piece and the needs, what's needed to make each piece happen? And then comes the empowerment piece. Can we empower not just ourselves to be able to ask for help? Because you're right, it's very vulnerable. It's in territory. We've kind of been conditioned to think that it's weak to ask for help, even though it's actually very strong. But then can we empower others by asking for help? Because that's what we're doing, is we're inviting others into our life, we're inviting intimacy, we're inviting connection, we're inviting really what our soul craves and needs. And when we refrain, when we withhold from doing that, it not just hurts ourselves and our day-to-day energetic sustainability, but it's hurting ultimately. You can see the domino effect here. Our children, our family, our work lives, our world, right?
Right.
So this is why I'm so jazzed up, juiced up, because these are just elementary or elemental both skills that we can apply to every facet of our life. Who the heck wants to be in a relationship with somebody who's so controlling that they don't let you do the dishes because you can't do them right? Like, you know,
My grandma was like that. My grandma,
You know what? I don't mind not doing the dishes. I'm quite all right. You do them however you feel they need to be done.
I
will
grew
stand
I
aside.
grew up with my grandma. I would say, "Grandma, let me help you with the dishes," and she'd say, "Oh no, honey, don't worry about it, because as soon as you would leave, I would redo them." So, but she grew up in the Depression, so I don't know. Maybe it was a little different, but yeah, you're right. I mean, and here's the thing too is that if you give to somebody, then they're getting, but you're getting to give like that. And then if you don't receive, you're not getting to give that person that feeling of giving to you. So, you know, people may think that it's just a one side. Oh, I'm getting, but no, but you're also giving this person the ability to
The
have,
opportunity to be generous.
yeah. So,
and people are hungry for it. I was just, you know, it's postpartum period. Who doesn't want to jump at the chance to be in that energy of a radiant, beautiful new mother and freaking gorgeous new life? Everybody salivates for that opportunity, and it's a disservice when we do not take advantage of that. And then also, our ability to give is equal to our ability to receive. So if we cannot receive, then we got to question really how we are giving. What are we giving? What are we really able to give if we cannot receive? Mm, yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's so important. So we are going to kind of wrap it up here in just a moment, but we do have live viewers, so hello and thank you for watching.
Hey.
Let us know who you are. If you have a comment or a question, you're watching on Google, then just type it in there. You should be able to just type it right in. And then otherwise, if you're watching on YouTube, just type in a question or comment down at the bottom. But I want to get you, Cara, back to your baby boy so you guys can do your nighttime routine. You know, really the last part that I was going to just chat about with you here on the Hangout was something that I have actually experienced, and it's a service that's offered. A friend here in San Diego, I put her website up there, Emerging Moon Birth, Mama Cinda. It's funny, I was like, we should do a whole show about this. I want to talk about this. She was like, I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. So I'm like, oh, I will talk you up, girl. This is a mother's roasting. Have you heard of it, Cara?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
See, I had not before. I had not.
Yeah. And so this is actually, you know, and I think you've talked about this before. This is the state of the mom after birth is like a cold state. I think you've talked about that before, Cara, with like the Ayurvedic foods being warm because we want to, you know, warm up the mom. But this is, you know, for moms postpartum who just kind of want to seal their body and kind of prepare their body for the next phase. It's also called like a bone closing. And it's a traditional process that lots of cultures have adopted. And my experience was a little different. My experience was postpartum, my miscarriage. And it was just really amazing because it was a whole, when you go to emergingmoonbirth.com, you'll see some of the packages for their belly, I think she calls it belly binding. And that was the best part, I think, for me was, you know, they rebozoed basically my whole body, and it was kind of like just like a closing, but it was like a physical thing. And I think that any mom postpartum would benefit from this, and even moms after losses. So, that's kind of just what my experience was. And if you go to the website, you'll be able to see, it's kind of like a menu of what you could have, and there's vaginal steams, which was really awesome. I don't really know how to describe it other than yeah, it felt good to kind of just do that.
You cleaned out the attic. You cleaned out the attic.
Yeah, and just that feeling of just that they had you sit on kind of like it was almost like a chair turned sideways, and you were sitting over the top of it so that you were really,
full frontal
open. And then, just being around other mamas that were really just embracing and loving you. I felt that from this experience. Everyone's going to have a different experience, and I think that's why Cinda she says I would have a hard time kind of talking about this, and I can understand that, because it's just, it depends on your situation, if you've had a baby postpartum or if you've had a loss postpartum. But I think it's just an amazing thing, and so check it out. There's my little PSA.
Yeah, your little pitch, promote.
Yeah. So anyways, okay, we've gone over. I don't want to keep you any more, mamas. Thank you, Cara, so much for hanging out, and I appreciate your time, sweet mama. And thank you, Mama Erin OG, for joining us.
I'm glad I could make it.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
All right, girls. We'll just end here. We'll all hang up. We don't need to keep chatting. So.
Okay. Good night.
Bye, girls.